What's up, guys? So I'm going to be bringing you a video on how to do the Theater of Blood on PkHonor. So for the gear setup, this is what I use for solos. I have 3 overloads. They sometimes run a little bit long. I'd rather not run out in general. The rest of the stuff, you can buy prayer potions inside. You can get brews inside. You might need to do a couple raids just to see how much you're using, depending what your gear's prayer bonus is, stuff like that. So just do a couple raids, you know, see what you're running out of, grab more of that, get rid of some of the stuff you have too much of. You'll figure something out pretty quickly, I think. For grouping, I bring a couple more switches, VLS and claws, hit the Soul's Cape, Scythe for certain bosses. So basically that's about it. Feel free to pause the video if you need, copy everything. I'm going to be going in with my solo setup for this, so let's get onto it. Okay, so first boss is the Maiden. She has extremely high defense, to the point that it's a little frustrating sometimes. So you want to go in, spec her with your Dragon Warhammer, Stasius Warhammer, Bandos God Sword, whatever you have to lower her defense. And then if you hit your specs, I like to blowpipe her. If you don't, I like to melee her, just because it's a little more accurate. The Maiden attacks the player that's closest to her. So if you're in a team, you might want to have one person tank. Preferably someone with a Soul's Whip or something similar. I guess there is nothing similar to a Soul's Whip, so you want someone with a Souls to tank. Once she gets to 33% HP, she'll spawn her Nylo, which will come out. There's 4 rows of them, one set on the south, one set on the north here. It's basically impossible to barrage the Nylo in the first and second row without either of them reaching her. So you want one person to get the first and third ones, and the other one to get the second and fourth. And then on the other side, the other 2 people do the same. One guy gets the first and third, one guy gets the second and fourth. So you want to coordinate that with your team beforehand. It does scale the number of spawns to the number of players in the team, so you won't have to worry about anything crazy with duos. Other than that, she'll occasionally throw blood at you. They'll spawn some blood spawns. They don't go under you if you stand still, so just stand still. If she throws blood, move a tile over, move somewhere safe, and then carry on doing damage. Freeze the Nylo when they spawn, and that's about it. So let's go. So I hit 1 spec, so I'm going to range. I'm just going to cut the audio here. Basically, you'll see me freeze the Nylocas at 2/3 and half and 1/3 HP, and you can watch as she throws blood around and all of that. It's pretty boring, so I'll probably speed it up for you guys. I will catch you after the boss. So now that I'm done with the third set of Nylo, I'm just gonna kill this blood spawn off for a little bit of space over here. And I'm going to switch to melee and wait for that to clear up, and then we're in there just to save a few supplies for the next few rooms. So the next boss is going to be Bloat. A lot of people like to spec with the ACB and then pull out the blowpipe. So basically when you walk in here, he's going to spawn over here. And he's going to start walking around, and you want to stay across from him so that you're not in his sight at all. And then I'll show you the rest as we go along. It's a really simple boss. So see, he starts going. So what I do is I like to hit the corner at the same time as he does. So I'll come stand next to it like this, wait for him, and then go, just to make sure if he turns around or anything, just like that. You will do that sometimes, so you got to be careful, especially after the first phase. He sometimes starts to run, so that's something else you really need to watch out for, because if he turns around while he's running, it's really fast. So you need to watch out for it. I've had a lot of teams get wiped just by that. So right here, he's asleep. I'm gonna attack him. Right as he wakes up. So you want to be around the wall right as he stands up like that, because he will hit you for a large amount of earthquake damage, which is like reflect damage basically, and it can really hit you for quite a bit. So you need to be out of his sight at the point when he wakes up. If you need to be a little safe about it, be a little safe about it. So right here, I'm just gonna keep running around, staying across the pillar from him, just making my way around. He's asleep, so I'm gonna attack. Right here, I'll take the damage just to show you guys. So he's gonna wake up, right? And right at that point is when you take that damage. So you need to be back around here in time. It's really not a big deal, honestly. If you do get hit by that, I've seen some teams will take the damage and just try and kill him on the second phase. That's something you can do. You just want to be careful because your HP will be low, and if he sends the flies, those do hop from player to player. If that'll happen if you don't stay across this pillar from him. So you do need to be careful sometimes that you don't let your health get too far down. I'm just gonna kill him right here. See, I'm gonna tank this and just kill him. So we're on to the next room. So the next room is basically tower defense. You will need to use all 3 attack styles. It isn't super difficult. Probably the hardest part is the boss at the end. A lot of people do complain about it, but there is a trick to it, which I'll show you. During the first part, during the tower defense part, the most important thing is keeping the Nylocas off of you. The aggro Nylocas, the ones that aren't going for these pillars here. There's like certain ones that'll try and attack you, and you want to kill them quickly. That's probably the biggest thing that'll kill you in this room. Other than that, it's a pretty easy room. I'm going to start off with melee because I'm pretty sure melee spawns up here and begins attacking you, and that's the first aggro. So he's on me right now, so take him out, pray mage, and all that. So basically, just stay alive. You just do as much damage as possible, kill these things as fast as possible. I like to prioritize range and magic just because you don't have to run around at all. You can do a lot of damage really quickly across the whole room. Yeah, so I'll just fast forward this. It's really straightforward. It can be a little difficult, but it's really straightforward. Alright, so basically, I'm about done right now. I'm gonna throw on my melee prayer. Um, Stand here. I'm gonna get my ACB in quickly. So basically, you want to wait for him to attack twice once the boss spawns in. So he'll attack you twice and then switch styles. And blue is mage, green is range, gray is melee, same as these. You really want to get your prayer done right after the second attack, just so he can't hit you off prayer, because he will hit you pretty high. Other than that, have fun. Okay, so that's the end of that. Next boss is Soteseg. We want to go in Dragon Warhammer spec, switch to range. If you're in a group, you might want a melee, but for solo, I range. Um, Soteseg mechanics are he will shoot little red balls at you, which will hit you for magic. You want to pray magic. If you're with a team, once the red ball hits your team, it'll split into a red ball and a black ball. And if you get the black ball coming at you, you want to pray range. If you get the red one, you want to keep praying magic. If you are on the wrong prey when one of the small balls hits you, you won't be able to pray for 5 seconds, which can cause issues sometimes, because they will keep coming at you, and you won't be able to pray at all. And the mage ones can hit 40, so a lot of people run away from him. They run onto the floor over here, away from his end over there. At certain points, he'll teleport you to a maze, right? And it'll look like this floor. What I do, well, I'll show you what I do when I get to that part. Other than that, you just go in, spec him, range him. It's a really AFK boss. It's incredibly slow. You'll see. Um, because I'm solo, I don't have any prey switching to do because there won't be any balls bouncing around because I'm solo. Also, he will sometimes shoot a bigger red ball at you, and everyone needs to meet up on the spot, whoever the ball is targeting. So, say I'm with a teammate over here, um, and the ball is targeting me, he's going to run from here and basically make a death dot on me. And that way the damage splits between us, and I don't get hit for a 70. Um, For solos, you just tank it. It's a 35. It's not bad. Right here. He's sending it at me. If there was someone here, they would run over and meet me, and we would share the damage. It's pretty straightforward. You just need to be ready for it. Keep your eyes open for it, because you really don't want to kill your teammate forgetting to come help him out. So here we go. We're at the maze. So if I'm with a team, I stand on the first tile here like this. I wait 2 seconds and then I go. Just click each corner. Some people you'll see they'll do like diagonals like that. But if you're new to it, I wouldn't bother. It can throw some teams off unless they're ready for it. So just stick to clicking each corner. Make your way down the maze. Should be fine. If you're outside, you'll see, if you're not the one in the maze, you will see each tile light up red that they clicked on, and you just click on it and follow the path with them. It's really pretty straightforward. Your team will explain it to you if there's any issues. It's really simple, so don't worry about this one too much. So I'm going to re-record Xarpus because I died. I have a team this time. Once you go in there, you're going to want to go and stand on the exhumed that she spawns, which will fire poison balls at her, which will give her more HP. We're going to go in right now, and you'll see we kind of establish an order. So he's going to be 2, he says. I'm just going to hop on this, so I'll be 1. So he's going to go get the second one, and then Niels will get the third one. And then, so it's back to me because I was 1. And that's just kind of how you do this with a team. See, they fire the ball, heals her a little bit. It's not a huge deal. It's pretty straightforward. Once she actually wakes up, you want to Warhammer spec her. And oh, we just messed up pretty bad, but yeah, I'm awful. You Warhammer spec her, take out the blowpipe, do a ton of damage. At the end, she will screech. When she says screech above her head, you want to just stay out of her sight. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to come up, spec her twice, put on my blowpipe, and do a ton of damage. Make sure it's on rapid. I've done an amazing amount of kills in here without having the blowpipe on rapid the entire time. It will definitely save you time. So we're just going to work her down. I will probably mute and talk to you guys once we hit the second phase. So one thing you guys will notice is Niels did the melee and he left this side open. I'll show you why that's important to leave one side open, but you basically want to have 3 tiles next to each other just like this. So now he's screeched, so I'm going to run over here and take a ton of damage on the way. See how, so he's turning now, and he's looking at that corner, so if you're in this corner, you can't attack him. See how Tossid stopped because he looked this way? So that's basically the goal, is to just attack him while he's not looking at you. I'm going to hit him, run over here because he's going to turn, so he won't be looking there. You'll just learn. Basically, behind him and right in front of where he was just looking are almost always safe spots. He won't usually look there the next rotation, so I'll either get behind him, so this would be behind him, and I'll just run over there and do that. And it's pretty easy. So Verzik is the hard one. I go in, you're going to want to put on your ACB, grab the staff from right here, and everyone's going to go in and spec her with the staff and do a ton of damage with rubies, whatever you got to do to just hit hundreds. Her shield's going to take most of the damage off, so you can't use regular, like you can't use your blowpipe, for instance, or a whip, because her shield will block most of the damage. I pray Soul Split for this part, just because. So on the first column, you're going to want to hide behind the column every time she throws a giant mage ball. So this is the spot on the first column right here. I'm going to take the staff, spec her a couple times. I'm going to drop it for the boys. Go over, hit a couple rubies, walk back. And then the pillar's going to run out of health, right? And you want to be 1 tile away from the pillar when it runs out of health. So right now, I'm pretty sure the next one will knock it down. I'm going to get ready to step back. And then I'm going to fire off my rubies. And this is where I hide on the second pillar. Instead of right over here, we hide here. It just makes it easier to go do this. More advanced players. Oh, whoops. Okay. So we finished that off pretty quickly. You're going to want your whip out, defender on. Everyone's going to set up across from each other. So they're over there. I'm going to set up over here. And basically you do, when she goes up in the air, you attack her, and then you step back. You want to step 1 tile back. I kind of messed up on that, so let me show you guys again. So she's going to go up. I'm going to attack and step 1 tile back. Attack, go up. And we're just going to repeat this for a really long amount of time. I'm kind of lagging a little bit right now, so that's a little weird. You might want to pray range at this part if you're having trouble. A lot of people do pray range for the first part, but I like to do magic. I'm really misclicking a lot right now. This is awful. I feel terrible for my teammates carrying me. Yeah, that's about it. Towards the end, she'll start to spawn red Nylocas. You want to kill those really quickly. That's why you need 2 players for this. And basically, just do damage to her. Just, take a step back. Don't get too impatient. You always want to make sure you're safe when you're attacking her. And you want to poison that purple Nylocas. If you poison it, it'll hit her for like a 75 poison, which is really big. In solos, you abuse that to skip the red Nylocas phase at the end. You just keep poisoning her. But that's a little more of an advanced technique. Maybe I'll make a video on that if I can start consistently soloing, but so far getting through Xarpus for me is a little difficult. So I guess I'll keep you guys posted. You guys will see a forums post or something of the sort if that ever happens. Oh, I'm so bad. Oh my god. So I'm gonna poison the purple Nylo right here. He's gonna light up green when he gets poisoned. See, and then just go back to the whip. When the other Nylo run at you, well, now we gotta kill the red ones. So when those smaller ones will run at you, and basically, you want to get close to it so that it gets triggered and explodes, but then you want to get far away so that its explosion doesn't damage you for magic damage. If you go back and look at what I did each time those spawned, you'll see exactly what I mean. It's just a little bit of a hassle, sometimes gets you moving around a lot, but it's okay. Red Nylo spawn, kill them, go back to doing my one tile walk back. And I like to do an X, by the way, because when she throws the range thing at you, it'll land on the tile you were standing on. So if you go back to that same tile, it'll still hit you. So if I do an X, it's gonna hit the tile next to me, ideally. So back to killing the red ones, and so on. So for the third phase, basically I'll show you when we get there, I guess. But you want to have your prey screen open almost the entire time at the beginning part. And you'll see why. On old school, they do it a little different way. They completely avoid her from meleeing, but I think we found out it's a little more efficient to just stand there and prey melee and then flick to major range, depending what she attacks with. It lets everyone do more DPS for sure, which is always a good thing. Yeah, so here we go. We're about to be on the third part of Verzik now. Okay, so I'm going to prey melee. I'm going to stand up next to her. And so she's going to have 3 attacks. That first one was her melee attack, right? That's her range attack, so you want to switch to range before the projectile hits you. That's another range. The magic attack will be blue balls, like that. It's a little hard to differentiate it from the melee attack. Ready, so this Nylo's here. I'm going to trigger him so that he blows up. Whoops. And then I'm going to get away from him. And basically you just do this. So she'll occasionally spawn webs like this and people will run around and stuff, but it's more efficient on the first webs to just stand here, take care of your teammates, and go back to hitting her. Once there's tornadoes up, so once she gets to 25% health, she'll spawn some tornadoes, which will hit you for magic damage and will heal her, based on how much your health is when they hit you. So you want to stay out of those first and foremost, and when the webs come up, you want to run around, because if you get stuck in a web and the tornado's coming at you, then you're going to get hit pretty bad, and you're going to heal her up, which is not something you want to be doing. So basically you just run around, stay out of your tornado. I'm going to try and figure out which one's mine, because I really can't tell right now. Alright, so this one's mine. And I'm just going to come up, hit her, run, hit her, and that's the whole kill. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will have more for you soon.